Hi guys, I'm Coach John from Journey Fitness Company, the official training partner to the Trifactor series. We asked you guys to submit your questions to help you better prepare for the upcoming run. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first question is from Vin. Vin asked, is it advisable to run on an empty stomach or should we have a light meal before we commence running? Well Vin, it really depends on the type of session that you're going to be doing and your goals for the session. Particularly if you're training for a long distance event, you might want to try to avoid having any kind of food intake before you actually train. This is the reason behind it is to facilitate better fat burning. But in order to do so, you need to train at a lower intensity. When you train at a lower intensity, your body then facilitates the ability to burn fat. So while avoiding putting in any starch and sugar or any foods in there, you're going to allow your fat burning ability to surface and to enable yourself to really utilize the right sources of fuel. However, if you're actually doing something that's slightly higher intensity, then do fuel slightly before. Give yourself about an hour or 2 hours before your session and put in some fuel before that. So the next question we have is from Dawn. And Dawn asked, I occasionally would suffer inner left knee pain after a run. Thinking of getting a knee brace, but there are so many different types in the market. What are the pros and cons of different types of knee braces, and does the latest elastic therapeutic tape work the same as a knee brace? Well Dawn, before you actually go out and purchase a knee brace, I would strongly recommend you go and see a physio, and particularly a physio that specializes in what we call kinesio taping. That's something that's a little bit more popular in this day, where you see a lot of runners having their legs taped up and a lot of colorful tape. Well, it's also the good thing about using it is that it's not hot, because when you wear a knee brace and you're trying to run a long distance, it can tend to overheat that part of the body. So you might want to go with something that gives it a little bit more airflow and it's a little bit easier on movement. Next up we have the question from Andrew, and he asked, how should I breathe when running? I've heard that I should breathe in through my nose and out through my mouth when I run. Is that correct? Well Andrew, breathing is something that's very important to help facilitate you to run more efficiently. And how so? When your body takes in oxygen, it actually helps the body to facilitate fat burning, which is going to help you fuel your run to either run longer or to run faster. So if you're breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, you're essentially limiting the amount of oxygen that you can take in. So we recommend actually breathing in and out through your mouth in a comfortable and relaxed fashion. And while people sometimes find it an issue to do that because they get a dry throat, it's something that if you put to practice, you actually get rather used to it. For the next question, we have Ian, and he asked, what is your advice for a run? Water, gels, isotonic drinks? There's lots of conflicting info, and what would you suggest to keep the energy levels up during an event? So Ian, nutrition is a very personal thing, and we all have different sensitivities to product and have different abilities to fuel. So the best advice I can offer you is to separate your hydration and your calories. This allows you to more accurately tailor your requirements and reduces your chances for a stomach upset. As a rough guide, I would recommend roughly to take in about 750 mils of sugar-free electrolyte drink with a gel every 30 to 40 minutes. Last but not least, we have the final winning question for the day, and it comes from Ben, and he asked, are there any warm-up exercises to recommend before we start running? So Ben, warm-up exercises really depends on the intensity of the session. While 90% of your training for an endurance event is going to be slow, there's no particular need to actually do any specific warm-up. Just simply start slow and work your way throughout the run. For more specific higher intensity sessions, for example track sessions or at a race, okay, you want to do something that's a little bit more specific, which we call dynamic warm-ups. So the first one that I would recommend is doing leg swings. And by doing leg swings, basically you promote blood flow to your hip flexor muscles and to the other supporting muscles that you will use during the run. Okay? The next one will be knee lifts. And by doing knee lifts, it's going to help you increase your range of motion so that if you do actually open up your stride, it's going to be a lot easier. The last one will be jumping on the spot, which is my particular favorite, because every time at the start of the race, there's not enough space to do any kind of exercises. So by hopping on the spot, it's an easy way to keep warm and get ready to start. So I hope I've answered your questions, and I look forward to the next round. See ya!